Hello everyone, we are Group 8 presenting you e-commerce industry in India. The members of this group are Akshay Gupta, Arunit Saraogi, Pramod Pawar, Sarthak Kundi, Saurabh Daraskar and Yash Singhal. The overview of e-commerce space in India. The Indian e-commerce market is expected to grow to $200 billion by 2026. Much of the growth for industry has been triggered by an increase in internet and smartphone penetration. As of August 2020, the number of internet connections in India significantly increased to approximately 760 million driven by the Digital India program. Internet users in India are expected to reach 835 million by 2023. Internet penetration in rural India is expected to grow at a rate of 45% by 2021 compared to the current rate of 22%. Each month, India is adding approximately 10 million daily active internet users to the internet community. Online shoppers in India are expected to reach 220 million by 2025. India's digital sector is expected to increase by twofold and reach $335 billion by 2025. Through its Digital India campaign, the Government of India is aiming to create a $1 trillion online economy by 2025. The Indian online grocery market is estimated to exceed sales of about rupees 22,500 crore in 2020. Now we would look some of the advantages for e-commerce in India. First advantage is growing demand. India is the fastest growing e-commerce market and is expected to grow at approximately 1200% by 2026. Another advantage is increasing investment. The recent rise in digital literacy has led to an influx of investment in e-commerce firms, leveling the market for new players to set up their base while churning out innovative patterns to disrupt old functioning. Another advantage is attractive opportunities. India's startup ecosystem is growing, which is well supported by favorable FDI policies, government initiatives like Startup India and Digital India, as well as the rising internet penetration driven by the market players like Reliance Jio. Another advantage is policy support. In India, 100% FDI is permitted in the B2B e-commerce, and heavy investment is done by the government India for setting up the network services for 5G, which will definitely boost up the e-commerce growth in India. Now my friend Saurabh will take you over to the current scenario of online retail market in India and critical success factors for e-commerce space in India. Thank you.
Online retail market. The online retail market in India is estimated to be 25% of the total organized retail market and is expected to reach 37% by 2030. In 2019, mobile handsets were the biggest contributor to online retail sales in India, followed closely by mobile and electronic supplies, other consumer electronics such as printers, routers, laptops, and home decor. FMCG segment accounted for almost 11% of online sales in 2019. Also, when we talk about online retail versus total retail in India, right now it is at 5% and it is expected to grow in the next 5 years to around 8% to overall retail. There are a lot of opportunities for e-retailers in India to capitalize upon with the gradually growing internet penetration in India. Let's have a look at critical success factors of e-commerce industry. Now, for starting with demographic factors, in 2019, Indian online shoppers spent rupees 12,800 per shopper per year, and this number is expected to rise to rupees 25,138 by financial year 2030. The age group of 15 to 34 years are the major consumers of e-commerce. Now then comes the cashless transactions and introduction of payments on UPI. It's an all-time high of 1.49 billion in terms of volume, and this is a very good thing as this boosts cashless transactions. Increasing investments. 6.25 billion US dollars have been invested in the logistics sector in 2019. In April 2020, Swiggy received an additional 43 million US dollar funding as part of its ongoing Series 1 round. In July 2020, Amazon.com invested about rupees 2,310 crores in Amazon Seller Services Private Limited, its marketplace unit in India. Increase in smartphones. The proliferation of mobile devices combined with internet access via affordable broadband solutions and mobile data is a key factor driving the tremendous growth in India's e-commerce sector. Smartphone users in India is expected to reach at 859 million by 2022. Also, there are some government initiatives that have been a part of critical success factors for e-commerce. Government e-marketplace signed a MOU with Union Bank of India to facilitate a cashless, paperless, and transparent payment system for an array of services in October 2019. Under the Digital India movement, government launched various initiatives like Umang, Startup India Portal, Bharat Interface for Money, that is BHIM, etc. to boost digitization. In order to increase the participation of foreign players in e-commerce, Indian government hiked the limit of FDI in e-commerce marketplace model up to 100%. Heavy investment made by the government in rolling out fiber network for 5G will also boost e-commerce in India.
For pastoral analysis of e-commerce sector, there are a lot of political factors which influences it. The political and regulatory challenges before the e-business have always been on the rise. Government interventions are always there on during the expansion plans, and also they faces new challenges every time because of the globalization. There are a lot of economic factors which also affect the e-commerce sector. Uh, Economic fluctuation affect both global and local businesses. Basically, it can be said that during the higher economic activities, which means that there will be a growth in terms of revenue and an expansion for both e-commerce industry as well. Uh, and also the exchange rate plays a very vital role in e-commerce industry because there are a lot of times there's a situation where the product needs to be shipped from abroad, and in those cases is where the exchange rate plays a vital role. All in all, they want stability in Indian economy for betterment of the business. As far as the social factors are concerned, the lifestyle and attitude of people vary from country to country, and as along the trends changes, it also impacts the business. They need to develop with the trends in current times. In fact, in rural areas, are also picking up these trends, and to take that advantage, the companies need to have better logistics established in rural areas to increase their market size, and they also need to increase on their online social networking. As far as the technological factors are concerned, there has been a growth of internet, evergreen growth of internet, and it's on rise ever since the digitalization has taken place in India. There's a rapid development of high-speed internet services all over the country. For payment services, the third-party online payment systems are there. They have been very efficient so far. As far as the technological sector is concerned, technical factors are concerned, uh, the data analytics play a very vital role in field of e-commerce industry because it helps in making efficient business decisions and understanding the customers better. The environmental factors also play a very important role. They impact the industry, and they focus on more sustainable development. There have been rising concerns about sustainable packing, waste reduction, and low carbon emission. And these are something which is a major issue in this, and all the players which are concerned from in this industry look after it. In fact, recently Amazon has promised that it will reduce on its packing, considering the amount of material it gets wasted on packaging. So it has promised that it will reduce the amount of material it uses on packaging. There are also obviously there are legal factors, and it varies from country to country what laws they have, and the players in the e-commerce industry have to abide by those laws. Uh, the e-commerce platform needs to be aware of the property rights such as licensing and trademarks according to the countries. Protection of consumer data is a very major concern nowadays because as we are moving towards digitalization, more and more people are uh, putting their personal information and stuff like that on the internet to make IDs, and it's their responsibilities to keep that safe, and hence consumer data protection is a major concern. Also, the labor laws, what the minimum wage and what are the minimum facilities they need to provide to their employees is one big concern. And so This is for the pastoral analysis of e-commerce industry.
So today we'll be learning about Flipkart's overall journey over the period of years in India. So as we can see, it is India's major e-commerce platform. Started in October 2007 and with its headquarters being in Bengaluru, it is one of the major e-commerce platform in India. It was founded by Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal, and the online venture had initially begun as an online bookstore. The platform started selling a variety of other products later on, which is like music, mobile phones, as well as movies. Presently, the company facilitates over 80 million products across a range of over 80 categories, which involve mobile phones, accessories, computer, laptop, books, ebooks, and etc. So now we can see the overall timeline of the Flipkart successful journey over the period of years. So as we can see that it has begun in 2007, which was mainly the category involved was books. Later on, it went on with music, movies, and mobile category, and then came up with a new thing called digital wallet scheme. And now we can see that it has come up with a video streaming platform known as Flipkart Video, which was started in 2019, and it's an OTT platform. So now here we'll be seeing the strategies that was involved in business model for the successful journey of Flipkart. So there are mainly three strategies that was involved, which was first one was rationalized supply chain, which was involved in inbound logistics. Later on, they also implemented strategic warehousing and distribution capability that was presently involved in operations. And then they came up with a well-aligned fulfillment process that took care of outbound logistics. So now we'll be seeing the major strategies that were part of the Flipkart's journey. So we can see that Flipkart had spent over a period of years in raising money in form of $1 million. The company's strategy is to raise as much as 1 billion US dollars. The main target of Flipkart is to take the top position in India by replacing Amazon, which is its major rival. Later on, Flipkart has also allowed the various sellers from across the country to sell their products under different categories on the online platform. It also encourages various sellers to provide special discounts to its users. Flipkart business model, we can see that they have mainly focused on making use of affiliate network like coupon websites, review websites, bloggers, and much more. And also they have come up with new things such as proper offline advertisements and promotions based on banners and TV advertisements. And also they have come up with promotions of the products and services on the various social websites like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc. So to come up with new things, they have also started one more thing known as enhancing the overall website of the Flipkart. They've made it much more interactive and people friendly. So now they have come up with a mobile app as well for the optimization also, so that the users can access the application at any time. And they have also come up with the web app so that the users can have utilization of the website in a more efficient manner.
Myntra, headquartered in Bangalore, established by Mukesh Bansal, Ashutosh Lavania, and Vineet Saxena in February 2007, with is a one-stop shop for all your fashion and lifestyle needs. Being India's largest e-commerce store for the fashion and lifestyle products, Myntra aims at providing a hassle-free and enjoyable shopping experience to the shoppers across the country with the widest range of brands and products in its portal. It began its operation in the B2B segment with the personalization of the gifts, which included t-shirts, mugs, and caps to name a few. However, in 2010, the company shifted its strategy to becoming a B2C oriented firm, expanding its catalog to fashion and lifestyle products, and then Myntra is ranked among the top 10 e-commerce companies in India and is scaling rapidly. So this is the journey of Myntra so far, where it was started in 2007, where it traded in on demand personalization of gifts items and followed the B2B model within in 2010. It started web retailing of clothes in the same period. In the same period, it also started trading customized items. Then in 2011, it started a tie-up with big brand like Fast Track, Being Human, to offer a wide range of current season merchandise from these brands. In 2014, Myntra converged with Flipkart to give competition to Amazon that had entered the Indian market in 2013. In this period, Myntra started selling over 1,000 brands to over 9,000 pin codes of India. In 2016, it acquired Jabang, and it also paired up with the Ministry of Textiles to promote the handloom industry. Then afterwards, Myntra has bought various small companies to extend to its reach and to improve its logistic and technological work. Now let's discuss the business model of Myntra. In value proposition, Myntra offers a wide selection of products, and it also uses outbound logistics as a measure of value proposition, where it uses a third-party courier service to reduce the lead time. It also has started alteration service in 2019. It enables Myntra to connect to its customers in offline mode also. In key resources, the human resource development plays an important role in the success of the Myntra. It focuses on the work-life balance of employees. Additionally, the supplier, wholesalers, the staff that comprise delivery persons and IT personals are also an important resource. Then key activities Myntra show itself as a fashion portal. It serves as a platform for the fashion content, trends and tips. Myntra has tied up with the 3000 brands and offer high quality of product. Along with this, it also focuses on marketing and sales management. In customer segmentation, Myntra has a massive urban market and it is very popular among the discount lovers. With so many options for one product, Myntra caters to a fashion enthusiast also. Then coming to the key partners, after acquiring by the Flipkart, the partners of the Myntra have increased. Its partners are different brands that gives their products to Myntra for listing. In 2019, Myntra entered the luxury segment by partnering with the Purpose Style Labs, a luxury brand that sells apparels up to 1.5 lakh. This helps in customer acquisition. The channels through which the Myntra operates are its application website. It also operates through the affiliate programs. In cost structure, Myntra spends most of the revenue in purchasing stock in trade. Additionally, Myntra spends on technology upgradation and infrastructure improvement. Other than that, it also has to spend on warehouse management and advertisements. Salary to workflows come under the fixed cost of the Myntra. Talking about the revenue stream, Myntra, it buys current season merchandise from the various brands and make the product available on its website where it earns it through commission, and it also earns through the in-house brand sale of apparels. Talking about the competitive strategy, the competitive advantage of e-commerce companies is mainly because of the cost leadership or the product differentiation. With Myntra, it is because of the cost leadership. However, before the 2010, Myntra also had gained space market in the product differentiation by providing customized t-shirts and mugs. For the instance, during IPL, Myntra provides t-shirts with a person's name and printed on it.
As we know, today each and every industry is under disruption due to technological advancement. So in this slide, we will see how these technological advancement have disrupted the e-commerce sector. So first we will look at the effect of mobile computing. With the help of mobile computing, brands now can connect and engage customers everywhere via their dedicated e-commerce applications. Companies can also enhance customer experience with personalized offers. Now we will see the effect of augmented reality on e-commerce. Augmented reality blurs the line between the real world and the virtual world. With augmented reality, we can provide in-store shopping experience to our customer, irrespective of their location. Now we will see how big data have changed e-commerce industry. The rapid growth of e-commerce industry can be attributed to the availability of the data that has created opportunities for businesses to utilize the past performance and trends to enhance customer satisfaction through better production and services. Here are some of the ways in which companies use big data. Like companies use big data for like creating their customer journey. Big data plays a crucial role right from the point of the entry to the exit. Other ways in which big data helps the companies are by giving personalized offers and recommendations, and also by analyzing customer feedback. Like for example, based on purchase pattern of the customer and demographic details, we can categorize customer easily to target them effectively. Now we will have a look at how artificial intelligence have disrupted the e-commerce sector. Artificial intelligence is playing a game-changing role in the e-commerce industry. For instance, like intelligent virtual agent integrated in our e-commerce website, these automated virtual agents will perform production offerings and interact with our customers via an agent communicating language. Artificial intelligence also helps by providing a more human and personal touch to the e-commerce shopping experience.